Talk to me, to me. Majestic talks. Come and talk to me. Majestic talks. Come and talk to me, to me.
Hello, everyone out there. This is the Majestic Talk Show. I'm your host, Latasha Morgan, certified Christian life coach, certified professional life coach, board certified master Christian mental health coach, and a whole lot of other goodies, y'all. Welcome to the show. Today, our topic is family matters, spousal grief. We have a guest, Melanie Anderson, who is a licensed clinical social worker, and she owns her own telehealth private practice, Renew Reflections. Hello, Melanie. How are you doing today? And welcome to the Majestic Talk Show.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here. I'm glad that you are here. Melanie, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a licensed clinical social worker. I provide individual therapy services to people in the state of Georgia. I'm based out of the Metro Atlanta area, and I've been doing that for, I think, 13 years this year.
Okay, good. So what do you do in your spare time?
Ooh, in my spare time, I'm a soccer mom. So I go to soccer games for my son. I enjoy working out. I enjoy spending time with family and friends, shopping when appropriate, traveling as well.
Okay. So you on your own business, Renew Reflections LLC, but
Yes.
you're off the topic for today's spousal grief. Tell us why you wanted to be on the show about spousal grief.
Well, because in April 23rd, 2020, I lost my husband very unexpectedly. And so I wanted to just share my story with other people out there who may have had a significant loss and just discuss how I was able to maneuver through that and come out, I'm still, grief is still an ongoing process, but definitely showing how I was able to work through that, in the midst of a pandemic. And on top of that.
Yeah, that's a lot. So tell us the story behind the loss of your husband. Tell us when you met. Start from there.
Start from where, I'm sorry?
Start from when you met. Tell us a little bit about it.
Oh, when we met. We we used to work together. He was a teacher. He was an elementary school teacher. And I did almost like a social service position in an elementary school. So we worked there. He was from New Orleans, originally came here to Georgia as a result of Katrina. So it's interesting, Katrina was a horrible thing, but silver lining, Katrina is what brought us together. Because we moved here at the same time. I'm originally from Rochester, New York, and he's from, like I said, New Orleans. And so we started working together at the school, and we were friends, and just our friendship kind of evolved organically into more. And we eventually got married and had a son in 2012, and so we really had a really great marriage. He was my best friend, fun, laughed. He was just a fun guy. He was like I said, he was an elementary school teacher, but he also owned his own business, and he was had a production company, did mobile DJing and lighting and all kinds of tech stuff. So he did that. He actually retired from teaching maybe 2 years before he passed, and he was doing his business full time. And so he was really known in the community, all kinds of gigs, things like that. We would help him out. He had photo booths. So it was almost developing into a family business a bit. So yeah, he was just a great guy. Just everybody. He was a member of Omega Psi-Phi, so he had his frat brothers and everything. Just really a positive, upstanding guy in the community here and back in New Orleans. He was just very well known, very well loved.
So, when he died, how was the grief for you? What?
You said, how was the grief?
What was your experience of grief in his passing? What was that like for you?
Well, it was very sudden. Just a little, I guess I'll just give you an overview. All the kids were home from school, so he was, he's the teacher, so he was going to come back home and get my son started on school. And I was working from home, so I'm doing, video therapy from my house, and he was going to his physical therapy appointment, and so he said, "Yeah, I'll be back." I said, "Okay, cool," and he never came back. And so I said, "Something's wrong." I'm texting, I'm calling, and he's not answering. It's not odd, we're not like fighting or anything. So just something, just like this not right, this not right. And so I'm calling friends, family, just like, "Have you heard from Derek today? Have you heard?" And they're like, "No, I haven't heard from today." So long story short, I find out where, because I didn't really know where the physical therapy office was, where he was going. I just was going. And I found where it was, had my son in the car, and he took my car. He took my car that day. And so I took his car, and I pulled up, and I seen my car in the parking lot. And when I pulled up, I seen him slumped over in my car. And he was gone at that time, because he had been sitting there for a while. And so I call, I'm calling, running in the physical therapy office, asking, screaming, telling people to call 911. But by that time, he was gone. And so I often say I woke up a wife and I went to bed a widow that day. And I had no idea that was going to happen. And so it was just so sudden, just so in shock. It just didn't seem real. You're just in disbelief that I'm calling people, and I had no idea how to plan a funeral, how any of that. Like, just what's going on? We, and like I said, in the midst of a pandemic, we're just trying to stay safe. And now I'm having to rearrange my whole life. And so, the grief for me was really, as understandably so, it was hard. But, I'm kind of a person that is very task oriented, I guess. And so, just one thing after another. Let's get through this. Let's get through this. I need this done. I need this done. And that's kind of how I got through the first days. And, my family was immediately here, called my mom. She was like, "We on the way." They was down here within 24 hours. And just, so it was just leaning on my network, leaning on the Lord, like, just, Lord, why? Like, what was, just asking for strength, because I had no idea how I was going to move. My son, like, how am I going to, I didn't sign up to be a single mom. So how, to raise a son at that, a young black man by myself, like, it was just a lot. So it was very overwhelming at first, very overwhelming.
So, in your mind, did you think, what if I had did you say that? What if?
You know, I actually didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I never had a regret about anything because I said if I go down that road, it's not helpful and it's nothing I can do to change it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it really wasn't. It was, you know, it, when we come to find out, he thought he told the physical therapist that he was having indigestion.
Mm-hmm.
He thought he was going to go home and get his indigestion medicine. He was going to come back because they said they had called him too and wonder why he didn't come back. He had been in the parking lot the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, COVID, everybody just kind of isolating, staying to, so nobody
Mm-hmm.
seen him. But, yeah, I mean, he had no indication that morning that something was wrong or was having any issues. It was just, uh, yeah. So I know I couldn't let myself dwell on the woulda, coulda, shouldas because that's not helpful. That's what I tell my clients. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's I just know I just have to operate out of what I've been dealt with now. I can't change the past at all. And what I had in front of me was plenty. So,
Yeah, yeah. So it was overwhelming. It was different. The change that occurred in your life after
hmm
his loss, after losing him, because a lot of people face the same thing, especially as a spouse. You see when you get married, there's someone that you become one with. There's someone that you think that you're going to have forever with. And we don't see far down the road, but of course God does, and He knows all
hmm
things. Um, and most people go down into the dumps because they really don't know what to do. Um, they don't prepare. Were you prepared in case, or what was going on at that time?
No, there was no preparation for this. None. Not financially, not statewide. There was no will, nothing. I was not prepared emotionally. I mean, we're young. I mean, we
Mm-hmm.
have at
Mm-hmm.
the time my son was 7.
Mm-hmm.
About to be like we have a young child. No, that's the last thing. The last thing I'm thinking of.
Right, right.
hmm
Yeah. And a lot of people are like that though. A lot of
hmm
people don't, again, like I said, don't see that far down the road, but
hmm
most of us really don't think that that's going to happen.
That's the truth. hmm
And maybe it'll be like when I'll take care of it when we get older,
Yeah,
that's going to
yeah.
happen. But then when people lose a spouse, they find themselves in a place where I got to figure this out.
hmm
I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to take place. I'm not prepared. What do I do now? I'm going to be missing some finances here. I don't know how to have a son that needs a father. Now I'm a single mother. When I did
hmm
everything right, God, why you let this happen to me? I did this. I did everything right.
hmm
My son needs a father. What am I going to do? So for people who are feeling like that, what would you say to them?
You gotta lean on your faith. Pray. Um, use your support. My family has been my rock. My family, everybody moved down here after my husband died. Like
Mhm.
my brother, especially. So my brother and my son are very close, and so he moved down here because he said he know he gonna need a male model, well, role model.
Mhm.
Somebody. So
Mhm.
he's moved down here along with his daughter. So now in my house is me, myself, my son, my niece, who's rising junior, and my brother. So I call it like the weird family full house. So um, like the modified version. Um so yeah, it's us. My mother's here, my sister's here, and then a year and a half ago, my cousin, who we were raised like sisters, her and her
Mhm.
family moved here. So
Mhm.
my whole family just rallied around me, and I just thank God for that. Um, that we're all together now. So it's very bittersweet in that way that I don't have my husband
Mhm.
with us anymore. We don't have our husband, my husband, my son doesn't have his father, but we do have a lot of family that otherwise would not have been here. We would have just had to visit once or twice a year, or phone calls, FaceTime. So it's nice that my son has his cousins here now, his aunt, his grandmother, you know, his uncle. That they do a lot of things. He looks up to his uncle so much. So that's been a blessing to really just have family support. So if you have that, don't shy away from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because a lot of times we do think that we can do it on our own,
Oh yeah.
and you're like, okay, well, this is not anybody else's problem. I'm
Mhm.
responsible for doing this.
Mhm.
This is my child. I got to figure it out.
Yeah.
But people are out there waiting and willing to help
Mhm.
you, and that's amazing that your family just moved down here
Yeah.
and gathered around you, and that's
Mhm.
that's that's why family matters. Family does
Absolutely.
matter. And that's why it's important to have a family that's going to be doing it. You know, it's good to have a family that's going to be willing to support you. And that's what we
Yes.
should do as family. We have to get back to that, especially as Black people.
Mhm.
We have to
Absolutely.
get back to that family support system like we used to have, well, people used to have years ago. Um, so that's good. That's great. You have support. So everyone that goes through any kind of grief really
Yes.
should
Yes. Absolutely.
have the support they need.
Mhm.
And if you don't have family, and if it's not found in your family, I'm sure there are people, friends, there are support groups you can go to
Yes.
that will help you online, in person, whatever way,
Mhm.
however you want to do it. Counseling, all of those things are support.
Yes.
Churches.
Mhm.
And it's imperative that all of that is in the church as well, because that is beneficial to people as well, because that's family too. The church is family.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
it is imperative that we have support. That's good. So with your support system, you're able to continue to do the things you used to do, even though you're a single mother. You're still able to do the same things you used to do because of the fact that you have that support system.
Right. Right.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Um, so what do you wish you had done differently? So
I wish. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
you you said that there was nothing in place to
Mhm.
prepare you for this moment. It
Mhm.
is said that grief is better when the spouse is prepared, when things are in order. It's
Yes.
better, not that you won't have it, it's just better because
Mhm.
there's less things to worry about. What do
Exactly.
you what do you wish you had have done differently?
I
Not this.
definitely wish we would have had a will in place.
Mhm.
Um, More life insurance.
Mhm.
Um, it was it's so crazy. We were talking because when he quit his job
Mhm.
or retired, to do his business full time. I was like, we got to get more life insurance. We got to get more life insurance, and it was a sticky note. I'm a big sticky note person
Mhm.
in my office saying, as a to do,
Mhm.
unmarked box that we were supposed to do that, and we were supposed to do that, and then the pandemic hit, and then we were just,
Mhm.
scrambling around. But that was one thing left that we needed to have done, really, when our son was born. Um, I mean, I had some through my job or whatever, but after that, like after he passed, I definitely went and bulked up my life insurance policy, and
Mhm.
and did that, and I'm in the process of writing my will because I'm still working on his estate. Like it's such a long process
Mhm.
when those things aren't in place, and people don't know that, and the stress of that on top of the loss, it's a lot. And, sometimes families come out of the woodworks and aren't helpful, and so um,
Mhm.
so that can be a stress as well. So if everything is laid out, yeah, you still have those feelings, but you don't have that financial stress, or you don't have the logistics to find a lawyer, and just the legwork of all that is just one more thing to do that it's really hard to find the energy and motivation to do.
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
definitely recommend anybody. I don't, if you got kids, no kids, if your parents, have those tough conversations. Because I know I've forced myself to have a tough conversation with my mom. Hey, where's your paperwork? Do you have stuff in place? Like, like we all. That's one thing we all gonna do is die. So
Mhm.
let's have those conversations. Let's make it the process. It's already hard enough to deal with the loss. Let's, be proactive in making that process in those first weeks as smooth as possible, so you can not have, you don't have to do the GoFundMe's or, pull this money from this place and this place. It's already set. But that would be my primary thing that I would tell anybody.
What are some things that you wish during the course of the grief, during the course of losing your husband, what things did you wish no one asked you or said to you?
I don't know that happened for me. I think people really were very compassionate. My people, I'll say that, were like my close friends, my family. What do you need? How and it's not even just what do you need, because a lot of times you don't know what you need. Like people would say, what do you need? I don't know. I literally would say, I don't know what I need. I don't know, because I literally didn't. So when people, would send food, when people would just send me a gift card for DoorDash, just be like, don't, so at least you're not worried about food, stuff like that, or just sitting, just how are you doing? It'd be people just intentionally ask me, how am I doing? That was helpful. And sometimes I just needed to laugh and to smile. And it was just nice to have some friends that just, I remember my best friend don't even know this, but her and her dad called me one day and I was having a really rough day. They were so funny together and they just made me laugh, and it just really brought me up that day, because I was having a really rough day. And so just stuff like that,
Yeah, because when people are asking you how you're doing and people are asking you what you need, that helps you through the grief process better.
Yeah.
Because that support as well, that make you think that you are loved, that someone has your back, someone is in your corner, and whatever you need will be done regardless of how you feel. Because some people are walking through depression and different stages of grief. And so some of them sometimes you're in denial, sometimes you're not. And you really just, again, need that support system. I asked that question because a lot of times we say things we shouldn't say when people are going through grief. And it's imperative that we do watch what we say, like, and I just think people don't think about it. They say it because it's something they want to know, or something they think that's beneficial. It's just that we just need to watch what we say, especially when people are going through grief. Pay attention to them, how they're feeling, and see what needs to be done in order for them to get better. Don't allow them to sit in grief for a long period of time, though. You don't want them to just be stuck. You don't want them to go into
let it consume you.
Go into long term, because then it'll be detrimental. It could be detrimental to them.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think just being a therapist, just knowing what I know, I think is kind of protecting me in that way too. And just understanding how grief works, and just allowing myself to feel what I needed to feel when I feel it, and just not holding it in. Some people like to be strong. I really work hard to fight that narrative of what strong looks like, especially for Black women. That it's okay to cry, it's okay to let it out, it's okay to not be okay. I'm just because I'm not okay today doesn't mean I won't be okay tomorrow. But I think just and because I ended up I went to therapy. Because I just needed a place to process and kind of wrap my head around what was going on. So that was very helpful for me to go, and I knew that I needed that. So, it's okay to reach out, and get therapy and just kind of talk some things through. In a place because sometimes, like you said, the family or people say things and they don't know. They mean well sometimes. Sometimes people just don't think before they say things. But just it's nice to just have a safe space to just let things out, just be honest and raw when you need to. And so that was very helpful as well to do that.
Oh, so you mean Black people should go to a counselor?
Yes, I'm definitely gonna say that, especially when I won't keep my job. But yes, absolutely, absolutely, we need therapy. Everybody needs therapy. Therapists need therapy. I mean, it's so helpful. I mean, it was just so helpful. It's interesting. I as my therapist reflected back to me about me being resilient, and it was very interesting because that's strong narrative. You just got to keep holding on and not letting anything out. When you do that, you internalize it, and then you just get worse. And so I know that, as a therapist, and so I wanted a place to just let things out. And then when she explained to me how resilient I was, and I said, "Wow, I never really thought of myself like that." It's just, and the fact that she compared it to a palm tree. So palm trees are kind of my thing now, where the palm tree in a storm, it bends, but it doesn't break. And that resonated with me so bad. She's like, the storm will come. You notice, you see the palm tree swaying back and forth. It looks like it's going to break, but it doesn't. And I said, she said, "That's you." And I said, "Oh my gosh, that is me." So, and so the resilience that I used with all my faith and my family and just prayers and a lot of things that wrapped around me that I would never have thought I would have been able to get through something like a trauma and to not even be. I can tell the story. I'm not traumatized by what I saw. And you think you see your spouse dead in your car. I still drive my car. I still, like some people just sold a car. I don't. I said, "Well, that's a perfectly good car." So the fact that I'm able to do, I think that resonates a lot. That I'm able to still get in that car. Still, it took a while. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna say I jumped right back in it, but I still have that car. That I was able to see that, and that I was able to move forward despite having that horrific experience, and it not have shattered me. It has not had broken me. Just speaks a lot to whose I am, who I'm around, who loves on me, who poured into me. So yeah.
That's good, honey. You a palm tree. You a bend, but you won't break.
I won't break.
That's a word right there, isn't it, producer? Somebody might be preaching this Sunday morning.
No, so Sunday.
But yeah, that is good though. That is good. I've never heard anyone explain resilience like that. You're a palm tree. When the wind blows, it moves, it bends, but it doesn't break. Wow. But we always think that's going to happen to us when we're facing not only grief, but different circumstances and situations. They come to make us stronger, not to destroy us or to kill us.
Right.
Okay, so we have 2 minutes left on this show.
Okay.
Oh, well, we have 1 minute left. Sorry.
All right.
We have 1 minute left on this show.
Yes.
I want you to speak to the people out there that may be experiencing any kind of grief or any situation in their lives. What's one thing you'll tell them?
Reach out for help. It could be to your higher power. It could be family. It could be a therapist. You don't have to go through things alone. Like a lot of times, you want to do it. I got it. But just being strong actually means being vulnerable. And so that's what I was saying by redefining strength. It means being vulnerable. And sometimes in those safe spaces, giving yourself permission to be vulnerable, because that's how you heal. That's how you can move forward. I don't like to use the term get over, because these things help make us define who we are, but we don't have to get over, but we can move through it. And so just reach out, seek support, get help.
Yes, y'all. Yeah, get help, seek support. I really do appreciate you being on the show today, and that is so
Thank you
true.
for having me.
You're welcome. No problem. Anytime you can come back.
I enjoyed myself.
I enjoyed you as well, and that great conversation. So people out there, you've heard it from the licensed clinical social worker herself, the person that has experienced spousal grief. Get help if you need it. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be vulnerable. Pay attention, people, to your loved ones. Be the support they need. Let us support each other and love each other through different situations and circumstances, but also all times, regardless of anything, okay? Melanie, tell us how we can get in touch with you if we need you.
Oh, you can you can find me through my business page on Facebook at Renew Reflections and on Instagram at Renew Reflections LLC, and I'm also on Instagram as Melanie.Anderson LCSW as well, and on LinkedIn and Melanie Anderson LCSW.
Okay. Melanie, thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
I really appreciate it. Have a nice night.
You do the same.
Thank you. I will. Everyone, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for tuning into the show. This is the Majestic Talk Show. I'm your host, Latasha Morgan, certified Christian life coach, certified professional life coach, board certified master Christian mental health coach, and a whole lot of other goodies, y'all. We'll see you next time on the Majestic Talk Show. Good night.
Talk to me. Majestic talks. Come and talk to me. Talk to me, to me. Majestic talks. Come and talk to me. Majestic talks. Come and talk to me. Majestic talks. Come and talk to me, to me.